when Howard Stern, Baba Booey likes sports. Howard's not into sport. Howard's really aged well. He's 66 years old, never been smarter. Oprah is 66. My daughter watched, my daughter and her grandma watched the Oprah Sunday Soul, they call it, Sunday morning. Oprah's never been smarter. Howard's never been smarter. And I find it really funny in America. Donald Trump, 73, Joe Biden, 77. Bernie Sanders dropped out today. That's who's going to run for president. Beto O'Rourke, you didn't buy him. Mayor Pete, you rejected him. America likes experience. You had all these interesting. Kamala Harris, I thought, was feisty and smart and unique and a prosecutor. You rejected her. And Mayor Pete and Beto O'Rourke. You didn't reject Joe Biden. He doesn't want a revolution. He just wants to get us off the roller coaster we feel like we're on. America, Howard Stern is 66. He got the Tom Brady interview. Oprah's 66. This idea that new revolution. Folks, old is great. The happiest people, according to studies, are 58 years old. They're getting near retirement. So Tom Brady was talking about this. Tom, and I said, I wish he'd just, stop in New England, wrap a bow, and be nice and tidy, but it's not my life. I'm worried about Tom's legacy. Tom's not worried about his legacy. But he talked to Howard Stern about continuing to play, leaving this perfect legacy and moving on.
We all think we're going to live forever.
Right.
But the reality is we don't know when our day's going to come. So I could sit here and go, well, stop playing football so I could, worry about what's going to happen or worry about this or that, instead of saying, why don't I live my life the way that I want and enjoy it, in the ways that are going to be most fulfilling to me, which for me is doing what I love to do. You don't tell a musician stop singing,
right,
at age of 42. You don't tell a great painter stop painting at 42. Now, if you want to stop, go ahead. But for me, because I feel like I can still play doesn't mean I should just stop playing because that's what everyone's telling me to do.
By the way, Howard Stern started painting about 10 years ago and playing chess, and he's pretty good on the guitar now. He's evolved. He doesn't do as much stripper talk. It's a much smarter show. Oprah used to do a talk show host. Now she runs a network. It's a smarter show. Is it Tom Brady? The happiest people I know in this country have a purpose. And as you age and the kids move out of the house, so you're not raising them, and, you get to be 62 and 65, I never wanted to be a guy that raced to a golf course 6 days away, six days a week, and golfed, and my brain turns to mush. I never wanted to do that. It's nothing against golf. I love watching golf majors. I love the Masters. I love the British Open. I love the U.S. Open. I love watching golf majors. And I've gone to golf tournaments, and I like hitting golf balls. But I don't want my brain to turn to mush golfing with the same guys 6 days a week. Tom Brady has a purpose, and he's got a direction. And the happiest, healthiest people I know have that, especially as you age. You when you're young, you don't have kids to worry about. When you're old, they're no longer in the house. What's your purpose getting up? The mom, the husband, what's the purpose? The purpose is doing something you love. And this idea that Tom Brady can no longer play is absurd. A year ago, not this past year, 1 year earlier, 66% completion rate, 4,500 yards, 98 passer rating, 29 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Gronk was old and on his last year, and Edelman was the worst number one receiver in the league. Last year, his bad year with a bad offensive line, no number one receiver, and no tight end to speak of, Brady's numbers were, he threw again for over 4,000 yards. With no weapons. They got Mohamed Sanu mid-season, and New England's offense doesn't do well with rookie receivers and no tight ends and guys that come in mid-season. This idea he can't play is ludicrous. Phil Simms came on our show and said that a month ago. It's up. Stop saying that.
I hear people on TV, his arm is not as good. What are you watching?
Thank you.
His arm might be better now than it's ever been in his career.
Yes.
Okay. He might run a 5.3 40 or whatever it was, but he dances in the pocket like he's 4'5". You watch him. I've seen highlights of him from last year, and I look at him and I just go, man, he can just move around that pocket like he's a ballet dancer. And that is something that I don't know why more quarterbacks don't emulate now.
Yeah, he can play. He's played for the last couple of years. I don't think people are taking this into consideration. And this is not a shot at my former employer. It's not. But the way the structure was built at my former employer, basically John, a guy named Vince, and I did the show, 2 people. I didn't have a Joy. I didn't have a Dave Coelho, my guest booker. I didn't have 7 to 8 to 9 other people in the room. That's why my numbers have gone up. That's why I tripled my TV audience. And my digital's gone up 6 times. And my Facebook is now 330 million views a year. And my YouTube has grown. And my digital is growing. Why? Because I have a much better staff to work with. That's not a shot at the other people because I took one of them. The point being is Tom is going to go from arguably the weakest weapons in the league. Julian Edelman's a 3 to a 2 on many teams. On the Rams, I'm not even sure where he's at. There are organizations that have wide receivers. I mean, where would he be on most teams? I mean, where would he be in Dallas? He wouldn't be Amari Cooper. I think they like Michael Gallup. Zeke's going to get run. He'd probably be a 4. They let go of Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley's not that much different than Julian Edelman. He's not. The difference is Edelman's had Brady. Cole Beasley's got Josh Allen and a young Dak. So the point being is now Tom's going to go to a better staff and better teammates and better coworkers playing in their prime. Chris Godwin going into his prime. Mike Evans going into his prime. His tight ends, young, going into their prime or in their prime. All Tampa has to do, really, to me, is get a running back. Draft a running back. There's a bunch of really good kind of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th running backs, 5th-round guys. Get a running back. There's a couple things to address on the defensive side, and he's just got a better team. Younger, more athletic, more help means a better content. Content for him is wins. I think Tampa and Tom are going to be a beautiful marriage. NFC is tougher than the AFC. It's deeper, but a very productive marriage. Hour 2, Jay Glazer next.